What's going on, ladies and gentlemen? It's your boy Nurse Bass back with another video, and in this video what I have for you is another story time video, and I'm going to be going over a time in nursing school when I had a trash preceptor. Let's dive in.
Are you listening? Nurse Bass. Beast mode. Grinding.
So let me just preface this video. This is a story time video, but this is going to kind of run a parallel with the idea of being bullied, right? Nurses eating their young. And this is not only applicable to nursing students, but also new nurses as well. And I had previously gotten a comment several weeks ago at this point from a subscriber out there wanting to know how to deal with this idea of nurses eating their young. Now, I'm not going to cover that in this video. But what I did as a result of that is I put out a poll asking you guys if you had ever dealt with bullying either in nursing school or as a new nurse in general. Some of you have replied, but maybe not everybody out there got a chance to see that poll. So what I would like, let me go ahead and preface from the beginning. If you have had any instance where you have been bullied, either as a new grad or as a nursing student in general, I would like for you, if you feel comfortable doing so, leave that testimony down below, because my hope is to showcase some of these testimonies in an upcoming video whenever I actually do discuss nurses eating their young. Nonetheless, so this right here is a story about basically I essentially had two ICU rotations in nursing school. Now, the very first ICU rotation I had was in a CVICU. And it was at that point in time during that rotation where I had that light bulb epiphany moment that critical care is what I wanted to do. So, you know, like some folk out there who go into the program, nursing school program, knowing that they want to be a nurse, but they're not necessarily sure exactly what specialty they want to be in. I was that guy. And it wasn't until that first rotation through the CVICU that I finally realized, wow, like that was the light bulb moment, the epiphany, everything clicked. This is what I want to do. So after that rotation through CVE, I was super pumped. Like I'm studying pathophysiology. I'm doing everything that I need to in order to try and prepare myself for this specialty within this profession. So, you know, that was, to my knowledge, at that point in time, the only rotation that I was going to have, an experience that I was going to have with critical care prior to passing the NCLEX and trying to apply for jobs. So lo and behold, we end up finding out like the following semester, I think, that we were going to have a very short 1 week clinical. Every clinic group, we were all sectioned off into clinic groups. Every clinic group was going to have 1 week out of their rotation to go into a different ICU and get a chance to have an experience there. And basically that 1 week, so I think if I recollect correctly, the way that it worked is that 1 week basically only consisted of one clinic day. I think it was like one clinic day per week. So we only were going to have one additional day in the ICU. And for me, already having that affirmation that critical care is what I want to do. This is so fire. I love everything about this realm of nursing. To realize that, hey, I'm going to get one additional day in the in the ICU and get some experience. Dude, I was so pumped, guys. I was so pumped. It was like the kind of situation where like I'm having difficulty sleeping the night before clinic because I'm so excited to get in there and just get experience, like just get exposure, I should say. Okay, so all of this leads up to me having a trash preceptor, which is what was most unfortunate about it, because I had to give you that build up because I was so excited and ecstatic to be able to get this experience again. And we go into clinic that day, right? And at the very beginning of clinic, you know, you get assigned a patient, and of course, whoever the nurse is that's caring for that patient, that's going to be your preceptor, so to speak. And now that I'm working as a nurse, I have a little bit better appreciation for what it means to be a preceptor whenever you're getting a nursing student or a new grad coming under your wing, so to speak, and shadowing you, and you taking on that role of being the educator and trying to, you know, give them exposure and nurture that experience. But I also am aware how insanely busy the ICU can be, and how in some ways it can be, I don't want to say nuisance because that sounds like a hard word, but if anybody out there is a nurse who has ever had to precept, you can understand what it could be like if you were given a busy patient assignment and you get thrown in there without any forewarning at all. You're just going in and clocking in for your shift, and oh, hey, by the way, you're gonna have a student with you today. Sometimes that can be a blindsider. And so nonetheless, I digress. What I'm saying is I now have an idea for maybe trying to be empathetic for what this nurse was going into whenever she realized, hey, you're going to be paired up with this guy here, the student who doesn't know jack, basically. So anyways, I get paired up with this nurse, and one of the patients that we were caring for, I believe, if I'm not mistaken, it was a 2-patient assignment that we had, and one patient was like, again, HIPAA, protecting patient identifiers, this, that, and the third. It was like a late stage lung cancer patient who was in there, I think maybe on pressors or something. I can't remember exactly what they were in the ICU for. And then the other patient that this nurse and I were taking care of, this nurse was taking care of, was an ETOH withdrawal patient. I'm paired up with this nurse, and this nurse shows zero desire to have me around.
Hey guys, real quick, I just wanted to let you all know about this amazing company called nursing.com, whose sole purpose is to help prepare aspiring and new nurses for success in this rewarding career. Links down below. They have 4 brand new academies available for whatever stage of the grind you're in. The Pre-Nursing Academy for those aspiring, the Nursing Student Academy for those in the trenches, the absolutely stellar NCLEX Prep Academy with over 99% pass rate, and a program designed to help the new grad nurse navigate this new and intimidating profession. Just pick the path that's right for you. But if funds are tight, don't worry, because nursing.com has a ton of other free resources available to you as well. One day, patient lives will be in your hands. Study like it. Links are in the description. Love you guys. Grind on.
Okay, this is the kind of thing where it's like the acknowledgement of you is there. Like, hey, what's your name? Okay, cool, you're with me. And then you're following that person. And there is no interactive dialogue between you and that nurse. You're just feel as if you're the third wheel, so to speak. You're just following, you're shadowing. Whenever the nurse steps out to do whatever she's doing, you get a chance to assess the patient and maybe, have a dialogue with the patient. But then whenever you bounce back out with the nurse, like, they're already moving ahead, not being considerate of you. They're grabbing the meds, they're doing what they're going about their day, doing their thing. And it's like, hey, if you want this experience, like, just keep up. But there's no interactive conversation. There's nothing there that is providing any fruitful benefit for me. But anyways, I'm still excited because this is exposure. So I'm just like, okay, cool. Like, whatever I got to do, it doesn't matter. I'm thankful and grateful to be here. That's honestly what it boiled down to. I could have not had the opportunity to get one additional rotation through the ICU, but I got that. Fire, right? I'm thankful for that. So cool, whatever. I'm not going to say shit, of course. I'm just going to keep my head down and absorb everything that I can. Make the most of it. So anyway, I'm doing that. And as the day's going on, because I'm a student and I don't have any skills and I'm not really passing meds in this ICU, it's just there to gain exposure. I get pulled from my clinic instructor. I get pulled into 1 or 2 different areas where I get to go insert a Foley and I get to go insert an NG tube on a different patient. So I get pulled aside away from this little 2-patient assignment here to be able to go do a few skills. Anyways, I end up circling back over to this nurse, and I'm sure that in this nurse's head, who was already an inconsiderate nurse for the student's sake, was probably like, oh, now he's back. And so anyway, this all leads up to me asking a question, which was kind of like the pivotal moment of this entire story that I'm getting at. And this was just a learning opportunity for me. You're understanding that I'm a student, I know jack shit, and I'm intrigued though. Like, I'm expressing genuine interest in the physiology, the pharmacology, what's going on with these patients. I asked the nurse for this patient that we had who was in ETOH withdrawal and liver failure. This patient was prescribed lactulose. Okay. I'm just like trying to be empathetic now in hindsight and think about this being in that nurse's shoes. But I asked, like I said, I'm from a point of genuine intrigue and interest and wanting to learn and seeking knowledge. And I asked her, Like, why are we giving this patient lactulose? A very blatantly obvious answer in that nurse's mind, who's probably been doing this for several years, probably annoyed that she's got me with her, probably annoyed that I bounced on her and now I'm back and like nothing ever happened, whatever. So I ended up asking her, why are we giving this patient lactulose? And you're giving the patient lactulose so that the ammonia that's in their blood can be absorbed into their GI tract, and then they poop the ammonia out basically, and it helps reduce the ammonia levels in a patient who cannot properly excrete this waste product. So nonetheless, she explains this to me like this. It was something like, we're giving them lactulose so that they can get rid of the ammonia through their gut. Come on, you know why they're getting it. It was exactly like that. It was a delivery like that. Like, this is a blatantly obvious answer. I don't have time to answer your question. I have no interest in answering your question, and you're dumb and you should have known the answer. Literally. And I got thick skin, bro. I brushed that shit off like it wasn't nothing after the fact. I really did. But it's still something that I have held on to and remembered, because that is so not the way to be. And this again is like tying into the nurse bullying thing. Like, again, I got thick skin. She didn't bully me at all. I don't feel that way about it. But I can certainly see how these ideas, that right there, could certainly be interpreted as she's bullying. Like, you guys may very well interpret her as doing that, but it didn't really affect me like that. But what it did do is something that I've held on to in the back of my mind, and I've carried forward with me whenever I do have to precept nursing students. And it's something that I've carried forward with me. Again, I was a student. It's something that I've carried forward with me in my content creation here on this channel. Because, dude, I understand what it's like to be a student. Okay, I understand what it's like to be in those shoes. I understand what it's like to feel inadequate. That's why I made a video about it. To have these feelings of inadequacy, constantly be questioning yourself like, dude, did I choose the right profession? Am I going to be able to care for a human life whenever I graduate and get out there and start, when it's on me, when I don't have that preceptor who's trash and it's on me? Am I going to be able to care for this life, right? I understand what it's like to be consumed with that self-doubt as a student. And so whenever I'm precepting somebody, I cannot communicate strongly enough how important it is to nurture people, to nurture, right? They say nurses eat their young, dude. Nurses need to nurture their young. Why? I mean, dude, first of all, you've been in those shoes before. You know what it's like to feel that feeling of self-doubt. Everybody who's ever gone through nursing school felt that. Nobody has ever gone through nursing school like, yeah, son, I got this shit when I get out of here. Never. It's never happened. I guarantee you it's never happened, because the stakes are so grave. You're caring for lives. It's such a responsibility. But then the other thing is that this is the future of the profession. These are the individuals that are going to be caring for lives, man. And so it's not just a matter of looking at yourself. Okay, and I guess this is a message for preceptors out there. This is not just a matter of looking at yourself and your current situation and this 12-hour shift that you have ahead of you. Yeah, it's a 12-hour shift that you got ahead of you. But dude, the implications of the preceptee and the work that you're doing as a preceptor, it's, we're talking about the responsibility of caring for lives. You're being given the opportunity to nurture the individual that is then going to be caring for these lives. So in a way, if you think about it, and it's kind of convoluted, in a way, if you think about it, that responsibility is even more important. You are the one who is going to be responsible for assisting the molding and shaping of the mind of the individual who's going to be responsible for caring for lives. All right, that was a very horrible mouthful, but the point is that I had a trash preceptor. It was a trash experience, but I took the most that I could from it, and now I'm trying to pay that forward through my own content creation and through also the precepting that I do, to try and make sure that anybody that comes under my wing never is made to feel like that, and that I just try and provide as much value as I can, basically. Nonetheless, that was a little story time of an instance where I had a trash preceptor, and trying to drop a nugget of information in there of the importance of being a good preceptor. But then also, I do want to bring this back. please leave down in the comments below if there has ever been a time as a new grad or as a nursing student where you have been made to feel less than, or if you have just blatantly been bullied. Again, I want to showcase and feature those stories in an upcoming video. So anyway, I hope that you guys enjoyed the video. I hope that wasn't too much rambling. If you're new to the channel, be sure to hit that subscribe button down below. I'm putting out content every week to motivate, uplift, and inspire you to be the best damn nurse you can be. Hit the like button because it helps with the algorithm, and I look forward to seeing you guys in the next video. Peace.